Google My Business. Video number 15, all about Google My Business API. The Google My Business API lets developers build applications that interact directly with their business location information on the Google My Business server. With these applications, chains and third parties can more effectively manage their large and complex Google My Business account. Google My Business API. The Google My Business Application Programming Interface (API) is designed for developers who represent large tech-savvy businesses and third parties. Developers looking to write applications to manage Google My Business data should consider signing up for the Google My Business API. How you can use the API. With the API, you can manage locations at scale with actions like editing location information, reading and responding to customer reviews, updating menu details like photos, descriptions, and prices, viewing insights for locations, subscribing to push notifications for new customer reviews, adding photos, creating and updating posts, providing additional attributes for location, like a hotel's amenities or restaurant's menu URL, inviting and removing managers and managing service area businesses. Getting started with API. To get started with Google My Business API, follow instructions on the Google Developer site. Before you can start coding your first client application, there are a few things you need to do if you haven't done them already. Getting a Google account. You need a Google account in order to create a project in the Google API console. If you already have an account, then you're all set. Try out Google My Business. This course assumes that you use Google My Business and that you're familiar with web programming concepts and web data formats. If you haven't used Google My Business, then try out the user interface before starting to code. Create a project in the Google Developers Console. To create a new project, do the following. Go to the Google API Console. Click Create Project. Enter a name and click Create. Request access to the API. You must complete the following steps to enable your project and access the API. Go to the Google API Console and select the project you created for use with Google My Business to find the project ID. To determine your project ID, do the following. Go to the Google API Console. Find your project in the table on the List of Projects page. The project ID appears in the Project ID column. Complete and submit the access request form. You will receive a follow-up email after your request has been reviewed. After approval, return to the Google API Console and enable the Google My Business API for your project. Activate the API. Open the API library in the Google API Console. If prompted, select a project or create a new one. The API library lists all available APIs grouped by product family and popularity. If the API you want to enable isn't visible in the list, use a search to find it. Select the API you want to enable, then click the Enable button. If prompted, enable billing. Get an OAuth 2.0 client ID. Because your app will access protected, non-public data, you will need an OAuth 2.0 client ID. This lets your app request authorization to access the organization's location data on behalf of your app's user. Open the credential page in the API console. If you haven't done so already, create your OAuth 2.0 credentials by clicking Create Credentials, OAuth Client ID. After you've entered the credentials, you can see your client ID on the credentials page. Click the client ID for details, such as client secret, redirect URLs, JavaScript origins, address, and email address. Learn REST basics. There are two ways to involve the API. Send HTTP requests and parsing the responses using client libraries. If you decided not to use the client libraries, you'll need to understand the basics of REST. REST is a style of software architecture that provides a convenient and consistent approach to requesting and modifying data. REST in the Google My Business API. the Google My Business API operations map directly to REST HTTP verbs. The specific formats for Google My Business API URLs are https://mybussiness.google-api.com/v3/resource-path?parameters. The full set of URLs used to each supported operation in the APIs is summarized in the Google My Business API reference document on the website. Learn JSON Basics. The Google My Business API returns data in JSON format. JSON, JavaScript Object Notation, is a common language independent data format that provides a simple text representation of arbitrary data structures. For more information, see json.org. Google My Business helped to revolutionize the world of local search and the appeal of search engine optimization for small businesses otherwise unfamiliar with SEO. Following this course, you must have understood that your local SEO is critical, even with Google My Business. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the videos.